Plaintiff Amberly Pippin says when she was 17 and pregnant with her second child, she made a mistake and used cocaine. And as a result, her newborn baby, as well as her son, were taken away by CPS. Amberly claims her ex gave custody of her son to the defendant, and now the defendant is holding him captive, so she's suing for emotional distress. Defendant Regina Smith says she had custody of Amberly's son for almost 4 years because Amberly was addicted to crack cocaine and was charged with child neglect more than once. Regina insists she wants Amberly to be a part of her son's life, and she's countersuing for harassment and emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Okay, well, Your Honor, to start off with, I feel like Regina has stolen my son and is keeping him captive against his will. I can start off by telling you, when I was 17 years old, I was pregnant with my second child. Let's say I was 8 months pregnant. And me and my ex got in an argument one night, and I made a very immature mistake. I went out and partied, and I did cocaine. From that, my daughter was born prematurely that night. She was taken away from me at birth.
Because the child had cocaine in her system?
Yes. 3 days later, my son was also taken away from me. Custody was granted to my ex, and following after that, I went to prison eventually.
For what?
For unlawful neglect of a child. Well, after he had custody and after I was incarcerated, he gives joint custody to Regina Smith.
What relation is she?
She is nothing related.
How does he know her?
A friend.
He was granted legal custody and he gave physical custody to her.
He gave joint custody to her at the time. That's the thing. Whenever they went for that hearing, I was not present.
Why?
Well, I was 17 years old, facing prison time.
So you didn't want to fight it?
I felt like I couldn't fight it.
Okay, let me hear from you.
Okay, first of all, it was not one time that she partied. It has been several times
she is wrong,
that she has partied. She's a normal crackhead. I mean, there's nothing to it. I have her SLED report.
Keep quiet, ma'am.
I have her SLED report with numerous charges.
Let's see that. What are the nature of the charges in general?
Cocaine possession, unlawful neglect of a child.
Fraud, neglect.
The child has been in my custody. June of 2010 will be 4 years now.
Cocaine.
The father did live under my apartment complex. It was 3-story. He had an accident and did come to live with me for basically 6 months, where I took care of the kid.
How did the kid end up in your hands?
He brought me the child and said, will you watch the child, and never came back. The child had ear infections, and with me just joint custody and not blood related, I couldn't really get tubes put in his ears, so I did start a court case, and now I have sole permanent custody of the child.
As of when?
We went to court June of 2009. We got the paperwork the second week of October 2009.
All right, ma'am, I'll let you pick up where you left off.
I was incarcerated, and I came to the courthouse to fight for my son in handcuffs and in a jumpsuit over and over. This is not one time, this is several times. Just for my son to be back with his family. She has no relation with
Did they
him.
grant your child back to you?
No, Your Honor.
Why not?
Well, basically all it boils down to is she has a lawyer and I don't. I'm going pro se every time.
What else you want to tell me? Why are you suing her?
Your Honor, I'm suing her for emotional distress because, let alone, I wasn't even allowed to see my son for a whole year. Last week was my first visitation with my son.
When were you entitled to begin visitation?
Your Honor, this is my son.
Ma'am, your son was taken from you because of your destructive activities and the danger you placed your son in. So when she received sole custody of your son, the court determined, if they didn't grant you visitation, that perhaps you would be a danger to your son. That's typically why they deny any type of visitation to a parent. And so she has not done anything wrong if she refused to grant you something that you weren't entitled to.
Okay, Your Honor, I've got evidence where I've completed every drug test, every drug treatment. I've even went through anger management.
Ma'am, when was the last court date?
June.
And were you allowed to speak?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you tell the judge what you just told me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did the judge buy it?
He didn't really take a second look at it, and I have the proof right here.
All right, and so you're suing her because she has refused to allow you to visit with your son.
Correct.
Let me hear from you, ma'am.
When we were in court, she stood up in court and made the comment. She testified that she was dependent on drugs and thought nothing of drugs, but how to obtain them. So she didn't care about the kids in any way.
Did you say that in court?
I did not, Your Honor.
It's right here in the court paper.
And if you said this in court, the judge certainly would deny you any visitation. Okay. And I'm looking at that transcript, ma'am. So you're lying to me.
Your Honor, I'm not meaning to sit up here and tell you a lie. I've been going through this off and on 4 years.
I understand, ma'am, but you told the judge in June that you thought about nothing but drugs and how to obtain them. Give me some current facts about what's going on with the child and the last encounter you've had with her.
I haven't denied her. She didn't have visitation, and I knew she didn't. So there was occasions where I did meet her at places where it would be fun for the child, and I stayed there so they could visit.
And you allowed her to see the child?
Yeah, even though she did.
When was the most recent time?
Well, she just started her visitation right here in October or November. She had visitation the first weekend of November.
So she was granted visitation?
As of 1st of November, she's got 1 weekend a month.
Did she attempt to have that visitation?
Yes, sir. She showed up. She was 30 minutes late. She jumped out of the car and started running off at the mouth
Your
at me.
Honor, that
so
is a
I
lie.
did run off at the mouth back to her. So we did have confrontation and have words. The child was inside my mother's house with my father, so he heard and did not see anything.
I have a police report.
I shield him from all of that.
What?
But
she's going to show me a police report. So what ultimately happened during this confrontation?
We just pretty much had words with each other. She called the police. The police came down there. The police told me I do not have to let him go with her, but I told her I don't have a problem letting him go. That's fine. It has to be supervised all times and at all places. Ma'am,
what happened in this incident that she's referring to?
Your Honor, I was 30 minutes late, and I pulled up in her driveway. I jumped out. I said, you know, I'm late. I'm sorry I'm late, but there was a wreck on the interstate. She goes off at me and starts ranting and raving.
About what?
About I'm 30 minutes late, and she doesn't have to let me have my visitation with my son. I said, Hope, I really don't want to go through this. Just bring me my son out, and I'll leave. No, you need to get off my property. But I have tried to call several times and speak to him. Every time he's busy. He's over at a friend's. He's doing this. I never get to speak to him.
Okay. She does talk to him on the phone.
All right. And your counterclaim, ma'am, for $5,000 for harassment and emotional distress. How does she owe you?
Her and her mother calls constantly. Oh, we're going to have you locked up for child endangerment, holding him in a captive environment. We're sending DSS to your house right now. Child endangerment, law enforcement. It's constant.
How often?
Oh, at least twice a week.
Ma'am?
Your Honor, the reason I have not called like that, but the reason that I have told her those things is because after this 2-day trial in June, her boyfriend came to court that she was living with my son, and testified against her, saying that Sean was around all this drug activity, and she still got granted custody. But I'm supposed to be the bad person because I made mistakes in my life.
We're talking about the cause of harassment.
I don't feel like I've harassed her. I'm just calling to talk to my son. Okay. And she always tells me a story to where I can't talk to him. Call back later. So that's what I do.
Ma'am, you even admitted that you reached out to some other authorities because you believed that your child was endangered. Have you contacted any authority or threatened to report her to Child Protective Services or any other agency
No,
since the
Your
court
Honor.
hearing?
Just the court hearing.
All right. Did you want to speak?
Yes, sir.
State your name.
Linda Bodie.
What do you want to tell me?
Well, she has not allowed my grandson to be around family members for family get-togethers, birthdays, parties, whatever for the family.
I'm just curious. Have you ever attempted to obtain custody of your grandchild?
Yes, I have.
And what happened?
I was told grandparents don't have any rights in my state.
I know you might not have rights, but it's
Right.
up to the judge as to whether to relinquish the child to a stranger
I have
or
asked.
to a grandparent. And they chose the stranger over a grandparent?
Yeah.
Do you have
they
any
did.
idea why?
I think because she had an attorney and that she had him
All
for
right.
2 years.
I'm going to dismiss your claim, ma'am. She didn't cause you emotional distress. You caused it on yourself with your destructive activities. With regard to your counterclaim, ma'am, for the harassment, I believe that you've been a little bothered by the notion of what has happened, and I don't think that you are an angel with regard to how you responded or how you've been responding to her attempts to see the child and her attempts to re-enter the child's life and the grandma's attempts and the family, all those issues. So I'm going to dismiss both your cases and ask that you try and put the child first, and you do everything you can to convince the judge that you are clean and capable of taking care of your child. And then at that time, if you are granted custody, I certainly hope that you'll allow her to continue to be a part of the child's life.
Yeah.
Both your cases are dismissed. Have a good day.
In the long term, I would like my son to be back with me instead of a stranger that has never been part of his family. I'm capable of doing everything for him that she does. I'm his mother.
In the long term, he's probably going to remain with me because I'm not the crackhead in this case. So right now he's being provided everything. He's a great student in school, so he's probably going to remain where he's at.
This is where we start our arguments from because she throws up crackhead. I don't use a term like that with her. I've never
Drug addict,
disrespected
then.
her like that.